The records are now open, and so is the Lionsgate portal. Welcome everyone to Akashic Answers with Emily. In this video today, you will experience questions and answers from your Akashic records. And I would be willing to bet, if I were a betting girl, if I were a poker player, which I am. Did you guys know that about me? Yeah, I can whip your ass at Texas Hold'em. I once won a poker tournament where two of the men who played in that tournament sat at the World Series of Poker before. You can't beat the intuition. I'm sorry, you can't. I would be willing to bet that in this video, you are also going to experience a personal aha moment. That is my sacred intention of serving you and being with you and spending this time with you together on Lionsgate. Thank you so much for being here. This has proven to be an audience that receives intelligence so deeply. You all give me energy when I come into this space, so please say hello once you get here. If you are a newbie, let us know that you are joining for the first time, and I'll ask all of my loyal tribe who shows up here. Let's take care of our newbies that are coming in. We got to take care of each other. Say hello to each other as you're coming in. I also teased in the text in the opening of this specific episode of Akashic Answers with Emily that the Akashic records can reveal why you keep showing up and creating, or what we want to really lean into right now is where we're miscreating and where we're continuing to do it in the most important areas of our life. Why? Because Lionsgate, it is my favorite galactic portal of the year. It's where we align to the constellation Sirius, which is our spiritual sun. We're also aligning during the astrological cycle of Leo. Oh, I don't think I said that right. Basically, we're in the energy of Leo, which is an awesome invitation to get clear about our mission and our passion and up-level our courage. It's one of the most potent times of embodiment. And I learned something incredibly valuable between last Lionsgate and this Lionsgate. And y'all already know it. It's back to the basics. It's the importance of what we do first. Anytime we're doing quantum work together, whether it's tapping into the records, whether it's Reiki, whether it's theta healing, whatever it is, we've got to weed the garden, basically. We've got to remove the resistance. We have to do something about the energies that are emanating from us subconsciously. Sometimes we know them and we just avoid them and we shove them aside. And sometimes we don't see them. We don't see everything all at once. I don't. I continue to see my patterns and continue to be invited into a high level of craftsmanship around my own Jedi training, which is what I want to invite you all into during Lionsgate. You'll see a post or a comment from me at the top of this talking about our Lions Gateway Mount Shasta retreat, which for the first time we're offering virtually. And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about that retreat here, but I guess I sort of am in a way. I'm going to talk about stage one, because this is gateway one of that retreat, is going to be the release of what is standing in our way. And it's so important before we go into these galactic gateways where there's so much potentiality for us to expand and to rapidly accelerate. We want to properly prepare ourselves for this experience. So for those of you who are really ready for rapid acceleration, click the link that I left for you. There's more to what we're going to touch on today, but I want to bring you all into this experience today and share with you all the incredible value that happens when we begin to examine patterns and invite support in releasing what we're creating and miscreating. If this feels like it's going to be a powerful session, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Say hello once you get here. If it's the first time you're here, I'm Emily Harrison. I'm the founder of the Akashic Academy, which is a modern-day mystery school where we are bringing to you the most innovative training for light workers, quantum thought leaders, and spiritual visionaries. Because if you are one of these people, and yes, you are, if I'm going to invite you to see yourself as that, whether you do or not now, it's really similar to when I say, how many of you have been here before and how many of you are newbies? At a soul level, we have some people in here who have claimed their mission. I'm here to help people. I'm a lay worker. Maybe you don't know exactly what that is. Maybe you do. And then we have some people who you're still at the stage of using the medicine on yourself. And that's okay. The common link that we all have is that we are spiritual visionaries here to make a big change on the planet. I will speak for myself. It requires constant maintenance and constant examination of where I'm operating subconsciously and where I need to make the adjustments to vibrate in frequency with what I see very clearly, because I tap in lots and lots, and I want to invite you all into it to get clear on what my vision is. And so I'm not making a lot of missteps. I'm not wasting a lot of time, a lot of spinning my wheels in different directions. It's invaluable, I will tell you. All right, so that's who I am. That's what my mission is on the planet. And my goal today, my intention today, is to take you for a spin in your Akashic Records. Let me show you how these work. Okay, let me show you why this is such a valuable tool to have in your back pocket. And let's clear some stuff out of the way so you can have the most impactful Lionsgate season yet. Okay? All right, so I'm going to invite you to type your questions in. I'm going to dive into Nirma's question here. But before I do, just a little bit of context. Even if I don't see your question or get to your question today, it's important that you type it in. One thing that I love about the Akashic Records and about this particular space is that my intention and the divine invitation, the divine intention of your Akashic Records, of the soul meeting that you're having here today. Yes, our souls agreed to this meeting outside of space and time, has been arranged so that the next piece of information that you need is going to drop in. And how can I guarantee that it's going to drop in for you? By inviting you to ask the question. So if you ask the question, that's where my guarantee comes in. And I'll explain a little more, because the more consciousness, the more awareness we have of energy, the easier it is to get in alignment with it, to vibrate to it. Okay, there's some science behind why I said ask your question, and I guarantee you will get the answer. Because in the space of the Akash, or the wholeness, Akash is primordial energy. This is the wholeness, the God mind. Everything is complete when we tap into this space, even if we're tapping in from polarity, from a human perspective, which is limited. Everything is in essence whole. So when we invite forward a question, that question is whole and complete. Just us having witness on this part of it invites forward that wholeness and completion, in which the answer is contained. You see, the answer is contained within the question. And that is a signature characteristic of the Akashic Records, is to bring forward answers to any question that you ask. Okay, so whether I get to your question or not, ask away, because we're all going to get benefit from it. Nirma says, hi, Emily. I feel like a sponge and absorb negative energy from others. My whole body hurts. How can I protect myself, and how can I release the pain and negativity? I tried to manage things but couldn't help enough. Due to the pain, I have to lay down constantly. Thank you, Nirma, for sharing. I know that one area where we all get to up level is when we recognize that Nirma's best interest is our best interest. And I know that this place is full of healers. We all just please send love to our sister. And light and intelligence in whatever way is meaningful to you. Thank you. All right, Nirma, we're rooting for you. As I tap into the records, my awareness is brought to a training that I'm diving into right now, and something that I'm going to extrapolate on more in the space of the Akashic Records during the virtual Mount Shasta experience around releasing entities. And we're all, another thing we all have in common is that we're all humans. And as humans have life experience here, we have trauma that it's part of the deal. Okay. And we all still have unresolved trauma that is creating attachments in our energy field. And I'm studying this now under, or I should say through the lens of Chinese medicine, ancient Chinese medicine, where it was known as a possession. And a possession is any time the spirit is not under our full control. And when we have unprocessed pain, trauma, grievances, aches, sadness, fear, abandonment, issues, demons, if you will, what happens is we begin to compensate. We subconsciously compensate. We'll start, you know how if you like tweak your back, you start compensating with the rest of your body. It's what we do. We start compensating and telling ourselves stories and creating these patterns. And if we're willing to get really honest, what we see is that we are not under our own sovereign control. We are not choosing that. That is a reaction. And these uncleared pains, traumas, grievances, they begin to show up in our body. There are different stages of dis-ease in energy and what it looks like when it manifests. Okay? The aches and pains that Nirma is sharing with us here, she says her whole body hurts. Okay? I want to bring awareness to those of you who might not express your aches and pains as intensely as Nirma is sharing her experience with us. But maybe you have aches and pains in your body that you don't express, that you don't talk about. These are an energetic manifestation. That means that this is dis-ease that is manifesting on your energetic field that I'm going to invite you to look at. Your body is inviting you to look at. Okay, so it's areas where we are not under our own sovereign control due to pain and trauma. If you feel like this is you and there are areas where you're not under your own sovereignty, okay, this can look like behavioral responses and reactions. It can look like addictions. It can look like continuing to draw the wrong partners into your life or to leak your wealth. I can't remember what the other example was that I gave you all. But when this unfolds in our physical life, like you said, there are various stages with this, at which this energy manifests. From beginning to feel the aches and pains in your body to actually seeing this lack everywhere. Okay, so let me tap in and see specifically, Nirma. It feels like there's a childhood experience for you, and it feels like an impact or a trauma. I'm almost seeing it as a car accident. Let me see if anything else is coming in. All right, Nirma, let me know about that vision that came in when I tapped in, and if you can relate to that. And where I want to bring everyone's awareness so that we can all work together and benefit here in the container is I want you to, let's remove something right now. Let's go back to childhood and just I want you to take a nice deep breath in, and on the end of the exhale, we're going to find a childhood memory. All right, so for those of you just joining, we're diving into the Akashic Records, not only bringing in insight, but also activation to help us all with the embodiment of the answer. And now we're going to receive an Akashic activation that is going to help us release something in your field. It's going to be unique and different for everyone, that is not in coherence or not in alignment with your soul mission. And ask your innate to begin pulling that forward now for you. Whether you feel like you know it in your consciousness yet or not, just trust that your innate is pulling that forward. And we want to go back and release a point of origin here. We're being directed back to our childhood. And we're going to examine more about why this trauma is creating a resistance for us. Everyone's going to have their own individual experience. Take a deep breath in. Good. It's like you're filling up with all of your soul's knowledge. On the exhale, you're going to breathe out everything that is not this memory of your childhood. And at the end of your exhale, I want you to arrive in the now moment that is this memory. Exhaling, 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 exhaling. Arrive now. Go to the first memory, childhood memory that comes up into your mind, and just trust what's coming up for you. And begin to explore what's here for you. Trusting your innate to give you the intelligence. And just as we're even just going back with curiosity is illuminating this memory, it's bringing wisdom and intelligence and light from the Akash in. And this work can sometimes shift timelines. Edgar Cayce talked about how we can use the Akash to go backward in time and change timelines and change the past. You may not be understanding specifically how this work is working, or you may be pinging like crazy, but just know that you're having a perfect experience right here and right now. Healing yourself and removing resistance, loosening the grip of anything that's vibrating in your field that is not in coherence with your highest timeline and your soul mission. Exhaling, come back to the sacred classroom as you exhale. Bring the hands together, gentle pressure on the palms to engage the left and right hemisphere of the brain. Have the fingers touching the heart. Woohoo! Right on, that was a good one. If you enjoyed that, if you received that, can I get an amen up in here, please? All right, let's dive in. Let's dive in once again. Let me come on back. Oh, Nirma says that is correct. Thank you, Emily. Cool. Thank you, Nirma. Sarah Campbell says, amen. I like it. I like it when the visions can be really spot on, specific, and we can receive the confirmation. I appreciate that. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about dreaming here with Lisa. Lisa says, I don't feel like I dream and I rarely remember my dreams. Why do I not have clear dreams where my soul can travel and learn more? Also, what does the Akashic Records say my soul purpose is? All right, so there's lots of good stuff in here. I'm going to start with the bottom and work my way up, Miss Lisa. So first of all, the Akashic Records, and the way that I like to use the Akashic Records, because I feel like it is in its highest vibration, it is it makes us the most responsible, which makes the energy the most potent. And I feel that we must each self-initiate into the Akashic Records, and we must self-initiate that conversation and receive the intelligence, each one of us, around what our soul purpose is. So basically I got an out. Like, I can't tell you. Only you. But let me do you the favor of not being anyone to take that process away from you, Lisa, or anyone else. These are your divine soul records, and you have the ability to read them. This is the plural you, collective humanity, whether you are here now or watching on the replay. Yes, I'm talking to you. There are very specific questions that you can ask that I promise you haven't thought of before, that are part of the unique genius that I will be, again, bringing. I'm sorry, it sounds like, that's not very good. That's not good marketing. And my ego is like, damn, Emily, you think you're great, don't you? I do. And I think you're great too. And I don't know. I've pissed people off once or twice before about being a little confident. So have grace for me, please. But one of the, let me say it this way, one of the aspects, this feels better and more in alignment, one of the aspects that the guides are bringing through for this experience, the virtual Mount Shasta, is on day 2, I will give you those questions, and in the space of your Akashic records, in Lionsgate, connected to Mount Shasta, you will answer those and have a very specific understanding of what your soul mission is. Now I'm reading it again. I feel like, oh, you missed that she said purpose. For those of you who know me, I do like to make a distinction between purpose and mission, the nuance of it. Our purpose is just to be happy and to love and to be loved and to express. It's just to be in the highest expression of our God-like energy, which means, you know, it means a lot of things, and it's very simple. And I find that there are certain ones of you who are here to advance consciousness of the planet in a different way, that requires figuring out what you do, how you show up and create that on the planet. A lot of self-initiation. All right, so now I want to shift into talk about dreams. The first thing, and Lisa, forgive me, I'm not saying that this is something that is a reason why you're experiencing this, but if one uses a lot of cannabis, or if there is a lot of use of certain medicines that shift our brain chemistry, that can affect the dream state. So just know there might be something in your environment that you're taking in that can affect your dreams. The other thing that I have experienced about dreams is that it's like any other relationship that we have. We got to work at it. Yes, there are some of you out there who just very easily tap into the dreamscape, and you always have these great lucid dreams, and you can do all this cool stuff in your dreams. And you didn't really train those skills, but that is not the vast majority of people. The vast majority of us get to train, no drugs or medications. Okay, thank you. Then that was for someone else out there. Good intelligence to know, though. It can be caffeine related too, not just for anybody out there who is noticing that you don't naturally dream a lot. See if there's anything that you are taking in that might be prohibiting that, because it is a natural state. Okay, the vast majority of us get to train this muscle, and it requires discipline. It's simple, but it requires discipline. So we need to, one, set an intention during the day to remember our dreams. And I want to talk about 2 different ways that we can use the dreamscape. The guides are coming in. They want to say, what Lisa is asking is about remembering our dreams. And in remembering our dreams, we can, excuse me, I feel like there's pepper in my throat. We can dissect our experiences. A lot of times our guides and galactic beings will take us for training during that time. So if you can remember what happened, that can be really cool, and you can dissect what's happening, right? The other aspect of our dream time that is really important is lucid dreaming, is the ability to wake up within the dream. Because in essence, this is what we need to do when you're at the stoplight, when you're in real life. So there's a higher esoteric calling to our consciousness being able to wake up within the dream. This is landing for you. Send some hearts across the screen. There's also an important component of understanding how we collectively project into the waking dreamscape of life together. You know, that's just day 3 of Virtual Mount Shasta. We're going to be using ancient technology that has been used by great mystics and shamans and visionaries throughout history, quantum visionaries who know how to work the mechanics of the field, to send our vision, each one of your collective visions of speaking to those of you who participate in Virtual Mount Shasta. All of our visions, we're going to use sacred technology to project it into the collective dreamscape. But do you see why, tell me if this is landing for you all, do you see why it's so important to develop the ability to lucid dream, simply for the connection, the poetic connection? Because then we develop the ability to wake up within the dream that is life. Row, row, row your boat. Cool, right on. I'm glad this is landing. All right, so I want to go back one more time because the guides want to illuminate one more part of lucid dreaming, and here they're talking again about the dreamscape. We were just making the comparison to the daytime, the waking dream. The guides that are coming in now that want to talk about the importance of lucid dreaming, we're back in the dreamscape. Good, you're following. The reason why lucid dreaming is so important is because when we can wake up within the dream, the actual nighttime dream, the dreamscape, we can begin to try on new aspects of ourselves that we feel too inhibited to try on, or we're too blocked or resistance, or for whatever reason, we can't quite get it right in the waking world. The dreamscape is like our video game virtual reality where we get to play out and try things on and practice without the same consequences that we have in the waking world. Is this making sense? When I talk about trying on new ways of being. It's also important that this happens in the dreamscape, because in the dream time, we're using theta brainwaves, and theta brainwaves do not recognize limitation. So this is a prime zone, a prime environment where we can play with our unlimited nature, and we can, I mean, I would say that maybe you don't have dreams that you can fly every single day, but I'm going to say that most of you probably have had dreams before that you can fly. Right? Fly in the comments if you've had a dream like that before. And it feels unbelievably amazing. That unbelievably amazing is the feeling of infinite possibility being possible to you. And with the collective programming around imprisonment, the areas where our mind gets so trapped and rigid in the waking world, and for generations this has been going on. So of course it's very difficult to think unlimitedly in this world. You're not alone if you feel that way. We're learning how to break through. Okay? This is the happy dance. We're breaking it through. But this is what the challenges look like. Okay, so Lisa, in order to remember your dreams more, and this is for everybody out there who wants to remember their dreams more, you've got to create relationship with the dreamscape and set an intention throughout the day to remember your dreams. So maybe a timer 3 times on your phone where you speak out loud, my intention tonight is to remember my dreams. That's just one teeny part of it. I feel like what I'm going to tell you next is actually more important. But it's all important. You could rank it however you want. The next piece is keeping the dream journal. And you've got to keep a dream journal by your bed where if you wake up to use the bathroom or you wake up in the morning, you write down what you remember. If you don't remember anything, you tune into how you feel, because it's going to begin to train your awareness to tune into the subtle energies. And that's just going to start keeping you sharper. Okay? It's going to train you to tune in, and you will start remembering your dreams more and more. But you've got to give it that attention and the commitment. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you're feeling that. Awesome. All right, let's do an activation now. Let me see where the guides want to activate for you, Lisa. Lisa, on behalf of us all. Let's see. I feel like the Marys are coming in and just really want to bring in an energy around love and appreciation. So when I say the Marys, for me, that feels like Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. So just allow this divine energy, if you want to receive this, to enter your field. And so what do I mean by allow this energy to enter your field? Invite that energy forward. Notice, first of all, the energy signature. Feel that love and that compassion and the energy of these divine goddesses, ascended masters, high priestesses, this divine energy coming forward for us. And then if you want to receive that energy, you just give an internal acknowledgement of a yes. And for me, it's like I let the energy actually come in my body. And I notice, and this is something that I learned to do in Qigong at the end of a practice, to just let my body sway like a reed. And as my body swayed like a reed, my instructor would say, just trust that the energy that's coming in, it's got a consciousness and it knows where it's going. So this is really similar. Just feel the energy. Verify it, basically. Is this something that I want? Feel into it. Does it feel good? Yeah. Then invite it into your field. Whatever name for this energy that you feel like giving it. And then allow yourself to have a more embodied, visceral experience by just practicing. Even if you feel silly, even if you feel like, oh, no, I'm moving my body like that. Just play with the energies. Let it come in. Don't judge yourself so much. Go one more deep breath. Bring your eyes back open. Come on back to the sacred classroom. Let yourself move back into a state of stillness. Ooh, that was a powerful activation of love and appreciation. All the support that we have here available for us on the planet. That felt great. I love you all. Tell me how that felt for you all. I'm excited. I would love one final thing in the comments. I told you that poker story. It's because I'm willing to go all in, right? I would love to know if I was right or not. Did you have a personal aha moment while you were here? And if so, if you feel compelled to gift us with that, because we all benefit. And you will also benefit from the witness of what your biggest takeaway was from this experience. Please leave that for me in the comments. Happy Lionsgate, everyone. I will not be with you here live on Akashic Answers with Emily next week because we will be in Mount Shasta. But if you want to join in the virtual experience, again, I'm inviting you into the kind of training I myself do to stay sharp. As a light worker, you'll find the link at the very top of the comments of this broadcast. And we'll be broadcasting a lot behind the scenes, and we'll share a lot of videos here with you at the Akashic Academy. So make sure you are following here on the Facebook page. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Make the most of this Lionsgate. If you're not spending it with me, do something really impactful, and I'll see you back here on the other side of that portal.